The United States, often hailed as the beacon of democracy and freedom, has been involved in numerous military interventions throughout its history. From Southeast Asia to the Middle East, the pattern is evident. But what drives this propensity for war? Are the reasons as noble as proclaimed, or are there underlying motives? Today we uncover the hidden truths behind America's frequent military engagements. To comprehend the present, we must delve into the past. The United States has a long history of military interventions. According to the Congressional Research Service, the U.S. has engaged in nearly 400 military interventions between 1776 and 2023, with over 25% occurring in the post-Cold War period. Notably, since 2000, the U.S. has launched 72 military interventions, reflecting an increasing reliance on military force in foreign policy. One significant driver behind U.S. military interventions is the pursuit of economic interests, particularly the control of valuable resources such as oil and minerals. The Gulf War of 1990 to 1991, for instance, was officially a response to Iraq's invasion of Kuwait. However, underlying this was the strategic interest in safeguarding the vast oil reserves of the region, crucial not just to the U.S., but to the global economy. Beyond resources, the military-industrial complex plays a pivotal role. The defense industry, with its vast network of contractors and suppliers, benefits immensely from ongoing conflicts, creating a cycle where war becomes profitable. Geopolitical strategy is another critical factor. By intervening in various regions, the United States aims to maintain and expand its global influence, often under the guise of promoting democracy and stability. During the Cold War, the United States engaged in numerous proxy wars, supporting regimes aligned with its interests while opposing those leaning towards the Soviet Union. These interventions were less about the immediate conflicts and more about containing communism and expanding U.S. influence. The promotion of democracy has often been cited as a justification for intervention. However, this ideological drive sometimes masks ulterior motives. In Latin America, for example, the United States supported coups against democratically elected leaders, who were perceived as threats to American interests, replacing them with authoritarian regimes, more amenable to U.S. policies. In recent years, U.S. military actions continue to stir controversy. President Trump's recent authorization of airstrikes against Houthi forces in Yemen marks a significant escalation, raising concerns about entanglement in another prolonged conflict. Simultaneously, President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin agreed on a limited 30-day ceasefire, focusing on halting attacks on Ukrainian energy infrastructure. While Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed the proposal, skepticism remains regarding Russia's intentions during this ceasefire. Furthermore, recent reports indicate that U.S. national security agencies have paused efforts to counter Russian sabotage and disinformation, aligning with the administration's attempt to improve relations with Russia. Critics argue this could leave the U.S. and its allies vulnerable to subversive activities. The consequences of these interventions are profound. Civilian casualties, displacement, regional instability, and the fostering of anti-American sentiments are just some of the repercussions. Moreover, the toll on American service members is significant, with many returning home bearing physical and psychological scars. The media plays a pivotal role in shaping public perception, often rallying support for interventions through selective coverage and framing. In some instances, media outlets have acted as cheerleaders for war, amplifying government narratives without sufficient scrutiny.